Now, for some reason, bronsexuals seem to believe that Michael Jordan didn't face the same level of opposition that LeBron James faced throughout his career. But Kobe Bryant was living proof that Michael Jordan would have dominated every team that LeBron James lost to. You know, even NBA players recognize that Kobe Bryant is the closest thing that we've ever seen to Michael Jordan. They confirm that all the time. So if Kobe Bryant, who was a 9-time NBA all first team defense, he still managed to get 2 scoring titles. Michael Jordan also won Defensive Player of the Year, 10 scoring titles. So if Kobe can get 2 in this era, what you think Michael Jordan would have did? The only reason that Kobe Bryant put his scoring titles on hold is because it wasn't no longer about scoring titles anymore. It was about winning championships. So Michael Jordan could have easily won more scoring titles in this era, 10 times more. If Kevin Durant won 4 scoring titles, you don't think Michael Jordan could have averaged 45 in this era? Easily. I mean, it's just common sense, bro. Even Michael Jordan told a joke that Kobe Bryant stole all my moves. He the only person that can beat me because he stole all my moves. He's like my equal. So that's just like Shaq always say. They say Shaq could have never played in this era. But he always say, I am playing in this era. I'm Giannis Antetokounmpo. So Michael Jordan easily could say, everybody say that I wouldn't have dominated in this era. But I would have, because Kobe did. If Kobe Bryant could shoot threes, you don't think that Michael Jordan would have been able to evolve and adapt and be able to shoot threes? Michael Jordan had some of the greatest low post moves. It's much easier to get to the basket now. The game has been 10 times more watered down. So Jordan would have easily flourished in this era. So that's just further proof that Michael Jordan would have had 10 rings had he had the talent that LeBron James had. The bronsexuals, this is why their talking points and their narratives get disproven, because it's never rooted in logic. Their talking points come straight from ESPN and they just repeat it. So if we analyze and look at all the teams that LeBron James has lost to throughout his career, a lot of the teams that LeBron James faced, such as the Boston Celtics, which is the first super team according to bronsexuals, they don't want to admit that LeBron James started the super teams. They think that, according to them, the Boston Celtics was the first super team, right? Which I totally disagree, wholeheartedly disagree. What LeBron James did was 10 times more what you call a super team than what the Celtics did. Never have you seen someone who y'all consider in the same conversation, the same breath as Michael Jordan, team up with someone like Dwayne Wade, who's arguably a top 3 greatest shooting guard of all time, who led his team and won a finals MVP, who's considered at one point one of the best players in the NBA. And Chris Bosh was his 3rd best player. Clearly a super team, and they were all in their primes. So what LeBron James did was way more of a super team. Even Amon Shumpert was like, LeBron James ruined the NBA. And that's why, because you didn't have no one on that Boston Celtics team who was the caliber of LeBron James and Dwayne Wade. Now, Kobe Bryant defeated that very same Boston Celtics team that LeBron James lost to in the Eastern Conference Finals. So that just goes to show you that if you replace the team that Kobe Bryant had, right? Because Kobe Bryant didn't have another top 75 player. Kobe Bryant defeated that very same first super team, and I say with air quotes, the very first super team that LeBron James lost to. You replaced that Los Angeles Lakers team with the Chicago Bulls team. How do you think they would have fared, bro? Please tell me. Even when you go back to the 2007 NBA Finals where LeBron James got swept, do you realize that Kobe Bryant, he had to go through the 50-win Spurs in order to face whoever came out of the Eastern Conference? You do realize that Kobe Bryant also played with Shaquille O'Neal. In the early 2000s, Kobe Bryant had to go against a lot of those Spurs teams, and they won. Like I say, it's so easy to debunk a lot of the narratives and talking points that these bronsexuals run with, because they get their talking points straight from ESPN. It's not based in facts or logic. If you go do the research for yourself, you'll see it is right in front of you. Some stuff you just put two and two together and it makes sense. You just got to connect the dots. Just think in 2006 and 2007 when LeBron James advanced to the NBA Finals, one must think, you really think that when the Cavs went up against the San Antonio Spurs, they think that Michael Jordan would have got swept or he would have lost. But you think that Tony Parker would have won Finals MVP over Michael Jordan? Are you serious? You think Tony Parker, as the Spurs' best player, would have beat Michael Jordan in that Cavs team? And there's really no excuse for why that Cavs team didn't even win at least one or two games. They got swept. And there's no excuse because the Bron Sexuals, they make every excuse in the world for LeBron. But one must ask, how is it even remotely possible that LeBron James and that Cavs team, who won 50 games, was able to defeat that Detroit Pistons team, that 2006 and 2007 Detroit Pistons team, who won 53 games? How were they able to defeat them in the Eastern Conference, but they couldn't defeat the San Antonio Spurs, and they were just as good, right? That Detroit Pistons team still had majority of the team that defeated that Lakers super team. So if LeBron James was able to defeat that team, why he couldn't defeat the Spurs? They still had Chauncey Billups. They still had Richard Hamilton. Antonio McDyess got ejected. They had Tayshaun Prince. They still had Rasheed Wallace, Chris Webber, and a lot of those players were around the same age as that San Antonio Spurs team. So there was literally no excuse. How could they defeat the Detroit Pistons, but they couldn't defeat that San Antonio Spurs team with Tony Parker being their best player? So Michael Jordan would have easily dominated the Spurs. Who else can you name? The Golden State Warriors? So this is about to kill y'all argument that Jordan wouldn't have been able to defeat that Golden State Warriors super team, right? Now, as I recall, many of the Kevin Durant haters, they believe that had Zaza Pachulia had not injured Kawhi Leonard, that the San Antonio Spurs would have defeated the Golden State Warriors. So if y'all truly believe that the San Antonio Spurs with Kawhi Leonard as their best player, their only best player, would have defeated that Warriors team, you don't think that Michael Jordan could have did the same thing? And if Kawhi was close to doing it, then why LeBron James didn't do it? Make it make sense. So name a team that LeBron James has lost to that Jordan wouldn't have been able to defeat. Every team that LeBron James has lost to, Jordan would have destroyed. The Orlando Magic. If Kobe was able to defeat that Orlando Magic team, you don't think that Michael Jordan would have been able to defeat that team as well? You think that Michael Jordan would have lost to the Dallas Mavericks in 2011 if he played alongside Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh? Bruh, you really think that Michael Jordan would have allowed J.J. Barea to lock him up? I seen a meme where it said Michael Jordan defeated the Plumbers. LeBron James lost to the Plumbers.